I think it's unnecessary. There's so many different ways that you can engage with children without being semi-naked.
That's me there on Free Speech Nation on GB News, being hosted on Sunday by Nick Dixon in Andrew Doyle's absence. And what a great job he did, by the way. It was fantastic to work with both Nick and Francis on the day. However, this particular section, we're talking about drag queens, and specifically drag queens in front of children. I should say, as nearly everybody does when they talk about this subject, I have no issue with drag queens. Of course I don't. I work in the arts myself. It's a fantastic form of entertainment for adults in a nightclub at night. Full stop for me. The problem I have is when it comes to children. Now, did I feel this way before I was a parent? I might not have felt so strongly, but I know this sounds pious, so I'm trying to say it the best I can. But once you've had children, it changes everything. It changes your mindset. You become extremely protective. If you don't, then I question a lot of things about your character. I really do, because putting half-naked men in front of children to help them with their mental health or make them feel part of the LGBTQ plus side thingy community is inappropriate. It's entirely inappropriate. Children and sex don't mix. I'm not suggesting that the drag queens themselves, which are largely gay men dressed as women, have any attraction towards the kids. But why would you want to, A, perform that way? I don't like performing stand-up comedy in front of children. Why would you want to get your knob out in front of children? Now, of course, the knob is normally kept in a slinky pair of underpants, but it's virtually out, isn't it? For thousands of years, children have gone to education facilities to help them integrate into adult life as they grow. At no point in those years has anyone suggested that there should be some sort of sex show, because it will be good for their mental health. It will be good for their education. That's for very, very good reason. This has got nothing to do with being progressive. This has got everything to do with protecting children. Now, I'm not angry because there are people out there that disagree with this. I'm angry, and look, by the way, nothing makes me more angry than this. I talk about a lot of different subjects, particularly in my jobs on GB News, but drag queens in front of children is entirely unnecessary. You can teach children about transgender issues, homosexual issues, sexual issues in general. They can be dealt with in a much better way than perhaps I was taught sex education in the 80s and 90s. There are better ways of doing it, but I'm not sure actual sex is the best way to do it. And it's a sex act, isn't it? Being a drag queen is a sex act. It's difficult to get away from. Now, it's not intercourse, of course it's not, but it's in that realm. If I started doing that in front of somebody that didn't give me consent, and let's face it, those children aren't giving anyone any consent to do that. They know no better. They trust entirely on the adults around them to make those decisions for them. Nobody so far has come up with a bloody good explanation as to why this is a good idea. So, use the comments, come at me. Perhaps I need re-educating on this, but I just don't get it.
Let's get one more question. I think we did really well on that one from Chris, I believe.
Should the government fund Drag Story Hour?
Should the government fund Drag Story Hour? Interesting. So this is the Welsh Government funded Drag Story Time for children last summer, but it's now come out that this funding came from a £7 million Summer of Fun scheme, which was intended to promote children and young people's social, emotional, mental and physical well-being. Libertarian leanings kind of think that's right. What do you think, Paul?
Well, I mean, I don't care who's funding it or not. What I do care about is whether, you know, gay men dressed as women are dangling their bits in front of children for some sort of educational entertainment. Which this
That's
is
the most gammon sentence yet tonight.
I mean, it's craziness, isn't it? I mean, the whole history of drag is very interesting. There is a massive debate on where it came from. Was it ancient Greece because women weren't allowed on stage, the great old days, Nick, so men had to dress up as women? Or was it in the 1800s when they appeared in the minstrel show? And we know how divisive the minstrel show is. You and I I had to buy our DVDs of The Minstrel Show online, didn't we? You just can't get them anymore.
It's very hard to get. eBay. I don't know. Is it? What do you think? This is the most. I feel like the most moderate on the panel tonight, by the way. But yeah, I mean, I think Drag Story Hour. It's. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't really want your kids going to.
I don't think. No. I don't think so, because I just think it's unnecessary. There's so many different ways that you can engage with children without being semi-naked.
Thank you for watching. Please give my YouTube channel a subscribe. You can follow me everywhere, including YouTube, at Paul Cox Comedy. Until next time, don't be a dick. Leave that to me.